Good evening, everyone. Good Thursday evening. No, not Thursday. Wednesday evening. We're here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We're going to be racing the Class B Xfinity car tonight. Little spoiler alert for you. I have not raced this car here this week or practiced in it even. I've only practiced in the Cup Series, the Next Gen Cup Series car here at Las Vegas. That was last night when I ran some hot laps and whatnot, but I have yet to experience the Xfinity car at this racetrack, at least the new Xfinity car. Back when I was on Iracing a few years ago, I obviously have experience in the Xfinity car here, but not this new package and whatnot with the current rules configuration, so it's going to be definitely interesting. I don't remember how to drive this car here, and the first time we're going to get to experience it is together right now in qualifying, mind you, not even practice, in qualifying. So it should be an adventure for all of us. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get this kicked off in a moment here. Practice is over. I have a lot of energy tonight, so I apologize for that. I just had like 2 cans of Coke. Got home from work a couple hours ago, and was lacking some energy, so I decided let's just chug some caffeine and see if that fixes it. And what do you know, it fixed it alright. So hopefully that means we're going to set a really fast lap. What I'm assuming is it's probably not going to mean that, but we're going to try. And if we fail, well, you can watch me fail and laugh at me, point at your screen and just laugh at me, you know. That works. It's probably not too far off from what the Cup car did last night, but I don't know. We're going to find out. I'll let you know in a second if it's much different. So, one thing I do know for sure is we're going to want to gather our speed up on this first lap. So our first lap's not really going to matter. We're just going to sort of be building momentum for our money lap, which is going to be on lap 2. So that means I get a full lap to decide how I need to drive this car here, so I don't make a fool out of myself. We got a whole lap to try to figure it out. So I'm going to go down to the bottom. Okay, it's loose. Nice. So now we know. Car's loose in 1 and 2, way looser than the Cup car. Almost lost it down there in 1 and 2. We're going to go top 3 and 4 just to try to build up that speed, and then this is going to be our money lap right here. So we're going to go down all the way to the grass, try to get some extra time out of it. I'm going to use that loose condition to try to get it to turn better. I'm very scared right now that it's just going to snap, but looks like we got it. First time through 3 and 4 at speed down the bottom. I know it's tighter over here, so I'm just going to go in knowing that. Alright. Could have been worse. It's probably not the best. I was being a little bit conservative, and yeah, as you can see, not the best. But for our first attempt, only being a couple tenths off of the pole time, that's not too horrible. Like, what are we, 2 tenths off, 2.5 tenths off? That's not that bad. Being a little conservative because I was afraid I was going to spin out down on the bottom of 1 and 2. The car's a little bit looser than the Cup car. So just got to try to eke more out of it, practice in this car after this race or do another race. I'm sure we'll be more up to speed once we sort of get the handling down. Definitely a little bit looser than the Cup car. But overall, cannot complain. I'm not last, so there is that. I tied with someone else, 31.82. So, you know, take what you can get. We'll be back to grid in just a couple of minutes. Qualifying is over at Las Vegas. We're going to hop in the car here in a moment. Since this is my first time in this car at this track for the week, we are going to probably spend the first 5-10 laps or so not really pushing too hard. We're going to try to maintain our spot, not go too far backwards. But I do know that because of the loose condition of the car, tire strategy may come into play if we get a long green flag run, right? The looser a car gets, typically, the easier it is to scrub those tires, right? If you get a little bit loose, you're going to be scrubbing the tires. You want those tires to be going as forward as possible, and if you get sort of extra lateral forces on those tires, well, that's going to increase your tire wear substantially. And 15-20 laps into a run, you're going to be significantly slower than the guys that were saving their tires, and you're going to go backwards through the field. So I want to prevent that. Now you can also get the opposite, right? If your car's too tight, you can also have excessive tire wear from plowing, right? You're just going to be plowing through the corner and scrubbing in that way. But certainly with the looser condition, that's much more of a risk here, right? So since we're going to be loose, we want to make sure that we're not overstepping the car to the point where we're grinding our tires away. That's going to be sort of the best strategy for someone like me entering this race without much practice. The better I save my tires, the better chance I'll have of being competitive later on in the race. And part of that too is just not crashing, right? So I'll actually be there at the end of the race, especially for this first one. If anyone really knows me, they know that I like to get up in the mix of things and like to compete for wins, but sometimes when it's your first event of the week, it's not really possible, right? These other guys have been racing for a full night now. You get guys that come in back-to-back races and they just race over and over again and they practice. So if you're coming in like fresh and you're coming in without that practice, sit back and watch a little bit. Be a student of the race and watch what other people are doing. Don't be shy to take advice from what other people are doing by watching. And that's sort of what I'm going to attempt to do here. And hopefully by the end of the race I can use that information and apply it and sort of work my way through the field. That's the goal. 45-lap race, mile-and-a-half track. This is a more traditional intermediate oval, right? It's not a super speedway like, Daytona, Talladega, Atlanta, for example. Actually have to lift off the gas in the corners to make a clean lap here without getting into the wall. It appears on fresh tires you might be able to hold it wide open for a couple of laps, but that quickly sort of fades away. During qualifying, it was close to full throttle, but I had to lift a little bit in the corners because of that loose condition. Just sort of making sure I was setting the car appropriately. Right? You want those left side tires to be a little bit offset down towards the apron. You want that car to be able to turn through the center so you're not scrubbing speed off on corner exits. So that's what I was making sure I could do. But to eke a little bit more out of it, I probably could have had a little bit more on throttle time during qualifying. So going forwards, I'll kind of take that feedback and apply it. Here we go. Coming to the green, pace car's going to be off, and we're just going to sort of get rolling, hopefully nice and smooth, not try to press too hard, but just learn everything we can. Now, because we're in the middle of the field, we can't just lay completely back because we're in the middle of the pack, right? So we still have to be sort of like going, but we just don't want to be pushing too hard. I'm trying to make aggressive passes in front of us. Use the racecraft that we already have built up to sort of navigate this race, even though we don't have much experience on this track. Just sort of use what we know about racing in general to get it done. Don't really know much about the limits of being on the outside versus the inside either, so we're going to be up here for the first time and see what we can do. Looks like a bit of a pack is kind of forming up here right now on these fresh tires. I expect as the tires start to wear off, if we get to that point before caution comes out, guys will start to spread out a little bit. So we're clear to the bottom, and I'm just going to keep it here for now. I seem to be pacing okay up here. 3 wide, so we're just be careful so we're going to give people as much room as possible. Guys just making it 3 wide, really without reason here. Just got a bunch of guys to my inside. It's crazy. There's like 4 cars that I just cleared from my inside. I'm just gonna dip back into line at the bottom here now. So we're up a couple spots from the start, clearing all those guys on the outside. 3, almost 4 wide back there. I'm not really sure why guys are pressing hard so early, but, you know, we were able to clear them, thankfully. Had enough speed up there on the outside coming off 2 that last time by a couple laps ago. So, sort of existing right now. Let him go around on the inside. If he can clear me, doesn't look like he's going to have enough momentum for that. Just going to slowly work me down here while I'm on the outside. Just seeing what the limits of the car are, seeing if we can sustain our tires up here on the outside. Sort of what we're trying to figure out right now up here, as long as we're on the outside. Looks like the preferred lane is definitely around the bottom as these tires start to age. One on the wall on my outside, 22. Around a complete lap 7:45. Still about mid-pack, just kind of cruising around here. It's pretty loose on exit right there. Helps us turn the car a little bit more though, so I'm not too upset about that. Still side by side, battling for position number 13 for a couple laps. Just gonna get a decent run on the exit here. Got help on the outside now. Is clear now. Now he just cleared me though. I'm kind of right all over him on his bumper. Guy behind me on the outside just slapped the wall off for it. Back to the inside of this 16 car. In the wall again for the 22. This time I'm going to take him all the way down. I'm not going to sort of let him just have that spot. He slaps the wall 2 times in a row, you gotta try to pounce on those things, you know. Coming down, making contact with me is not gonna help his case. He's gonna get a good run on the outside here. As long as he doesn't slap the wall again, he's in a decent spot. Almost spun me out going down the front straightaway that last time I came down the track. He's in the wall hard now. That's the 3rd time he's hit the wall. We were able to pounce on that opportunity and get around him. Had to wear my tires a little bit more than I wanted to for that, but it's okay. Try to work on the 16 car again. Just barely cleared down there on the inside. Got me just by a little bit. Almost wasn't clear, but we had just enough room there. Now, I could have let that blue car in the 22 sort of just have the spot and let him recover, but twice in a row off the wall, you got to sort of, at some point, take advantage of it. The first time I gave him a little bit of a break, let him clear me on the inside, and the second time I had to try to get peek to his inside and get that. As I start to feel a little more comfortable here. So now we're all in tire saving mode, just trying to let the car settle in the center of the corner, not trying to scrub the car too much. As we go through this run, I'm noticing that the car is very tight through the center of the corner, and then it transitions to loose on corner exit. So I'm just trying to let the car rotate. I've overworked my tires just a little bit from that encounter with the 22, trying to complete that pass. Now I'm just kind of trying to let them cool back down a little bit so I can go after these guys in front, if possible. But I got to sort of let this car breathe a little bit, slow my pace down a little bit to try to gather, or kind of rein in the tire wear so that we can sort of go after the guys in front again. So I'm going to use the caution so it doesn't end up mattering. We're up one spot from our starting position, 13th, so I'd say overall that was a success and we learned a decent amount there, but now we're all going to be coming down pit road for fresh tires, I guarantee you. 2 sets total, so we're going to use one of those sets here. Pretty decent length run there, completing 16 of the 45 laps in that first run. That's pretty good. Now I have a really good idea of sort of how the tires perform over the course of a run and sort of how they wear. Yeah, we're all going to be coming down here. Try not to lose too many spots on pit road, that'd be ideal. Just trying to get all that momentum down pit road, trying to keep it at 50 mile an hour speed limit, not go over but not go under either. Let's get back up to 50 as quickly as possible. We're able to beat the 4 off pit road, so I think we maintain our position. We actually passed the 9th place car and the 11th place car, so we might have gained a couple, not really too sure. Looks like we might have gained a couple, so. Good job getting onto pit road with as much speed as we could, really optimizing that. Guess I could have pulled up to the car in front of me a little bit more on entry, but once we got to pit road, we were holding pretty steady at that 50 mile an hour without going over or under, so and getting into the pit box was decent. Can always do better, but I think we gained some spots there, or at least one. I definitely did. Looks like I'm the 9th car in line here. Just counting the cars real quick. Looks like I'll be in 9th place for this restart on the inside. Or I'll be on the outside, I guess. Maybe I counted wrong. Yeah, I think I counted wrong. Yeah, I'm in 10th. Don't love that. I'd rather be on the inside, but it's alright. We were able to make a couple passes already on the outside, so maybe it's not that bad after all. These Xfinity cars are just a lot of fun. They tend to run a little bit looser than the Cup cars, give you a few more passing options just because the Cup Series has become so reliant on momentum, and those cars are really built to be a little bit tighter. With that next-gen car, this is a more traditional sort of stock car, in my opinion, this Xfinity car. So give it another good run here. We'll be restarting, 26 laps to go, completing lap 19. Pace cars in. Trying to get a good restart. Clear's going. Oh, that's a bad shift. It's gonna go to my outside. And I hit the red one right there. Great job. I think we'll be okay though. We're gonna get momentum down the back. Clear inside. Outside. Lift a little bit extra for the 7 car in front of me. Not quite as much momentum as I was hoping he would have in front of me. Everyone feels like Superman on these fresh tires, I'll tell you that much. Just give it a few laps for things to string back out. Wheeling it right now. This battle's been going on for a few laps now. Looks like we're gonna sort of have a good run here to the inside of the 7. Go all the way down here. Not quite there. Oh, he's gonna give me the spot here. He's gonna give me the inside at least. Don't have enough momentum though to stay there. Not even enough to get a side draft. We're all over him though. It's just a matter of being able to complete it. I might have to go to the outside, I don't know. Should I try it? It's a little risky, I feel like. I'll go middle. How about that? See if I can get some extra momentum. I could have taken it 3 wide, but I'm not going to do that. That's risky. Could have shot it down to the bottom. I feel like we're not late enough in the race for that. Definitely a little bit faster than the 7, but I don't know. I don't want to get past from behind either, so I can't wait too much longer. Let's fry one fish at a time. This 12 seems to be a little bit slower than the 7. See, when cars are in your way, you just got to use good racecraft to be patient and navigate the situation. Alright, I'm going to try going mid again. inside here, but we should have momentum off. Oh yeah, we're gonna take it this time. Inside. Just don't have enough turn in the center. We're gonna be tight here. We're gonna get past on the inside. Just don't quite have enough. Alright, let's kind of relax here for a second. Slide job? Slide job? Crossover move. Another crossover. Double crossover. Can't get the car to turn off. Crossover triple. This is a good battle. Definitely gonna block that this time. We're not going for a 4-time crossover, or maybe we are. You might be able to get there. Definitely pushing it. We're abusing these tires right now. I'm gonna try to save a little bit of tire here if I can. If there's any left. Under 15 to go. We're plowing hard right now. It's tight as fuck on exit. Shot with that tire I'm starting to get. Use the tires a little bit too much, trying to keep my position from before. Like I said at the beginning of this race, it's all about tire strategy. We're going to start getting passed pretty good here. Unless we can find some extra tire life. Had to get out of the gas, I was going to hit the wall. Had to breathe it a little bit. A lot of crossovers today. Really breathe in there to stay out of the cars on my outside. Everyone's starting to get tight, but like I'm pretty tight right now. Like I think I'm tighter than a lot of these guys with how much tire I used. 10 to go. I might have to go up top and just race there to try to counteract the tight condition. That's a trick that you can try to use. I did a good job pinching them down so they couldn't come up the track, and I got that spot easily. But you can use the trick of going up high because you don't have to turn as much. The turn radius is a little bit, freer on the top. You don't have to turn nearly as much. And so if you're tight, try running up top. So that running on the bottom is just going to make you even tighter. So that's the only thing I can really try now is just run up top. It's not going to help too much, but they're wrecking in front. We're going to get a couple easy spots right there. Just kind of hoping we can get a caution there, but because I need new tires. But, I think moving to the top of the track has already helped me a little bit with the condition that my tires are in. Definitely feel like I have more options up here. I'm not sawing on the wheels much, trying to get the car to turn. I'm going to try on the inside, but I just have a lot of momentum on exit. See, pretty easily clear them once again once we get on exit. They end up having to lift just a little bit as they start sliding up the track. Honestly, this one I'm kind of hoping we don't get a caution because that's going to make the strategy kind of crazy. Right? Deciding whether or not you're going to try to finish the race with 2 laps to go on your old tires or if you're going to risk pitting and giving those fresh tires for a couple laps. Coming to 5 to go. Gap's not really changing in front. We're kind of just holding it there. 6 car's still working on me down low. Just not quite able to get there with his tires. I'm starting to migrate even higher up the track just because I'm searching for a little bit extra grip. Get the car to turn. As the tires wear, I'm needing a wider and wider turn radius to maintain the same speed. So I'm kind of just slowly going even higher. Looks like I'm actually starting to catch this 25 just a little bit. Lap cars a pick. Looks like the 6 is also migrating up and just going to help him get next to me and stay there. So that's a really smart decision on his part to do what he's doing. Because as he moves up the track, he's forcing me to go even higher, right? And that's going to help him get more speed on exit and pull up beside me and stay there. So what I got to try to do is I got to try to move back lower so that he can't do that, right? So now it's kind of a game of chess where you're trying to move around to cut off the other guy's momentum a little bit. If I go a little lower, he can't do that. So I'm in the middle of the track now. Coming to 2 to go. Fortunately or unfortunately, we're catching this 25 car, and that's going to open up the possibility of me getting passed from behind too, as I just slow down to sort of not run into that 25. It's like we're going to just have to do everything we can here. I might have to go to the inside here. I don't really have an option. White flag. I'm going to hold him right there. I'm going to try to force him high by kind of staying tight to his door on the top of this track here. Try to do what the 6 was starting to do to me. Gain the spot. Forcing him as high as I can. It's very close right here. There's a 3-wide finish. I don't know if I got it, but I think I got it. That was a very close finish. Oof. That reminds me of the Atlanta finish this weekend in real life. We were 3 wide coming to the flag there. I think the 6 ended up actually getting me, who was battling me that whole time. But I did get past that 25 car, so I guess we didn't really go anywhere. But I think we did all we could do there. Like, I couldn't just stay behind the 25 and hope it would work, because the 6 would have easily taken advantage of that, right? Now the 6 being on the apron here, coming to the checker, was able to get that advantage to the flag. As you can see right here in this shot, he was able to get there first, but I got the 25. So really the big winner in that whole situation was the 6 car ultimately. But I was kind of stuck in a tough spot, right? Like I couldn't do anything but try to pass the 25 car. That was my only option, because if I didn't try to pass the 25 car, then the 6 would have easily gotten around me anyways, and I would have been 1 spot behind where I finished now. So I ended up gaining 0 there, but I would have lost 1 or 2 had I just not tried to pass the 25, right? So ultimately that ended up working out kind of in my favor, mostly in favor of the 6, but sometimes you got to take one for the team. But that was a great battle all the way through, just jockeying for position, lots of good crossovers in that race. Only 1 caution for that incident back on, I don't know, it was like somewhere around like lap 15, 14. A couple other incidents after that that didn't trigger the caution flag. And there was an incident coming to the checker flag that almost netted us another spot, but luckily they spun across the line, so that didn't end up being an issue. But I want to go back to sort of this finish and sort of this chess game of a finish, right? So I'm going sort of middle high here, trying to pin the 6 down just enough and cut off his momentum so that he couldn't get next to me, while also still trying to reel in that 25 car, right? So I'm kind of in this middle sort of upper groove of the track, because I don't want to be so low that I'm cutting off my own momentum and not getting the car to turn, because remember, I'm battling my own tires, and my tires are so worn to the point where I need to lift excessively if I'm on the bottom just to get the car to turn. But if I go too high, well, I'm going to allow that 6 car to just dive inside and probably clear me in the middle of the corner, because I'm going so high that he just has all the room in the world to do whatever he wants, right? So I'm trying to pinch off his room, but also still give myself a chance to carry momentum through the corner by going high, you know? So sort of in that middle upper lane. Now I have to move down lower to pass the 25, because he was giving me no option, as he shouldn't, right? That 25 does not want me on the outside of him. I would have easily cleared him with how much faster I was than the 25. So he knew that the only chance he had of holding me off was staying on the outside and forcing me to go to the inside. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna have to go to the inside, but I still need to stay up the track as much as possible. I still need to pinch in as much as possible. Notice how I'm not going to the bottom, I'm staying in the middle. That's because I need to carry momentum off the corner to try to fend that 6 car off. Now, ultimately, that 6 was able to get there, but had I just gone low, he probably would have found a way to just slip underneath me and clear me, given how worn my tires were compared to his, right? He had definitely slightly fresher tires with how poorly I managed my tires earlier in the race. So he would have been able to just slip under me and probably get that turning radius that my car didn't have anymore. So ultimately, we finished it out in position number 9. Congrats to the 2 car who got the win, starting from 3rd place. The 3 car starting from 19th and finishing 2nd. Brandon McKissick is a regular here in the Xfinity series on Iracing. He's been racing for a long time. Great driver. I've been in many races with him. Very, very good talent, I'll tell you that. For us, finishing this 9th position. Also, congrats to the 6 car for getting around both me and the 25 there. Good job in being able to do that. Let's actually take a look at it before we head off the stream, just from the 6 car's perspective of what he was seeing as I was battling that 25. So I'm directly in front of this 6 car, right? I'm chasing down the 25 when that white car is in front of me. The 6 car is just sailing off down to the bottom, trying to get as much mid-corner speed as possible, while I'm trucking it off the top, getting as much exit speed as possible, right? Back to this kind of middle lane that I'm in now, trying to not allow the 6 car to use up the whole track when he gets next to me, right? So this is coming in, 2 laps to go here. I'm starting to get really close to the 25, and this is pretty much where I noticed that, shit, I'm probably going to have to try to pass this 25 car, because if I don't try to pass him, well, the 6 car is just going to blow by all of us. So here I'm like, alright, here's the 6 car, he's there, so I better go to the inside right now, because if I don't, that 6 car is going to be the one that dives down in there in turn 3. And I don't want him to be the one down there, I want to be the one down there. So I found like an opening, I threw it down there, and from this point on, from the white flag, it's like, alright, I just need to pinch this 25 car up the track as much as possible, and still maximize my turn radius. Worst thing I could have done here is go all the way down to the bottom with how worn my tires were. The 6 car would have easily found a way to get up there and get next to me. So I'm like, alright, I have to stay in this middle lane. This 25 car is still going to be next to me, but I just got to stay in the middle and just try to pinch him as much as possible. The 6 car dove it down in there one last time. Found enough turning radius to get beside all of us here. And now we're just holding on. Those cars spinning ahead, we're able to cross the line, I think. Actually, I don't know. That's kind of close. Did we pass that car? I feel like we might have passed that one car going through the grass before they crossed the line. Nope. Yep, we definitely did. 12 car. So, fortunate for us. We actually did gain a spot out of that because of that 12 car spinning, but this kind of looks like the Atlanta finish in real life, except it wasn't as close. Almost got the 6, not quite enough, but 7 car got very fortunate because I believe that 7 car was actually what was holding the 25 up in the first place, right? 7 car holds off all 3 of us, but I guarantee you, give it a few more laps, all 3 of us would have probably been going around that 7 car. Man. But really great race there. We'll be back for more Las Vegas racing here soon. But that's going to be it for me, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.